I managed to get a Nintendo Switch for 70 British pounds, and I'm going to see if it's still worth it in 2024. So let's talk about it. Now, before we continue, I just want to say this. On eBay, I only managed to pay 45 pounds for the tablet itself, so for the console, and I went on Amazon and buy the 2 controllers for 25 pounds, and this is how I got to the 70 pounds price. And I have to admit, I'm not a big fan of Nintendo Switch, mostly because of the games. I'm not a big fan of Nintendo games and stuff like that. I don't play Mario and Legend of Zelda, but I wanted to try it to see how it compared, especially because I have a Steam Deck and a Legion Go, so I want to see how is portability going. And since most of the games that I'm playing right now, like Dragon Ball FighterZ and Hogwarts Legacy, they are on the Nintendo Switch, I wanted to give it a try to see if it's actually worth it, or if it can replace my Steam Deck and my Legion Go. And the answer is no. So let's start with the bad thing about this thing. Now, this console has 7 years. Literally 7 years since it got released. The processor inside of it, I think it was released in 2015, so that's almost 10 years, 9 years since mom. And you can feel that it's a very old console with a very old processor. The performance is not the best, you get sometimes lags. The screen especially is not something that I'm a big fan of it. Now I know the Nintendo Switch has the OLED version. The problem is that the OLED version doesn't boost the performance, so it will look nicer, but in reality it worked, because the processor will downscale the resolution anyway to be able to play the game. So I don't think it's a big improvement to get the Nintendo Switch OLED. Now I never tried it, so I can't speak for myself, but in my eyes it doesn't worth the money. Now how I said, the Nintendo Switch is a very old console, and you can feel the performance on it going down on some games, especially Hogwarts Legacy. I would not recommend you to buy it for Nintendo Switch. Now games like, for example, like Dragon Ball FighterZ, they were perfectly under. Games like, for example, Legend of Zelda, they were perfect. Mario, if you're a Nintendo fan, let's call it like this, and you like the Nintendo Switch games that are exclusive for the Nintendo Switch, then yes, it will be worth it for you to go for the Nintendo Switch. My biggest problem is, if you want the console just to travel and stuff like this, the Nintendo Switch is actually much better than a Steam Deck or the Legion Go, because it's not that bulky, it's not that heavy, it's very slim, how you can see, very nice, comfortable to hold it in your hand. I really like it. So how you can see, I have both of them here. Now this one, it's bigger screen, so you know, you expect bigger quality and looks better, but it's also heavier and it's bulkier, and yet you can remove the controllers how you do with the Nintendo Switch, but it doesn't make any chance to use it, because there's no point of using it. If I can remove it, what the, but the games catalog, especially for me, is not what I'm looking for. Now for kids, yes, it's a perfect console. You have some kids games here, you get YouTube. It's a little bit hit and miss, because the way you control the app, for example, on YouTube, you can't control it with the touchscreen. You have to use the controllers to control the app. I don't know why. So for example, see, I'm on YouTube and I can't scroll to select, it's taken as a click. So my video, you have to control everything with the buttons here. So the buttons are the one that are controlling the YouTube. So you don't have the joystick with you just want to take it and watch YouTube. Do keep in mind that you will need them to be able to control YouTube, otherwise you won't be able to watch YouTube. But other than that, you can watch YouTube on it. You have some kids games here and stuff like that, and depending on your taste, if you do like Legend of Zelda, for example, and stuff like this, then yes, this is a perfect console for you. But here is my problem. So I paid 70, but if you want to buy it directly from eBay, with a charger, mine didn't came with a charger, it was just a tablet, just to make that clear. If you want to buy it on eBay with a charger and stuff like that, it's about 100. If you want to play Nintendo games, you're a big fan of the Nintendo hardware and you like playing Nintendo games, then that's fine. You 100 pounds, it's all yours. But then with something like the Steam Deck, that it's about 200, that you can emulate the Nintendo games and you can play PC games as well, and you also have Linux on it, so you can do more stuff with it. You have a computer with you. For me, it's hard to justify buying a Nintendo Switch in 2024. Now, don't get me wrong, has some advantages. For example, the battery on the Nintendo Switch is the best one. For me, so Nintendo is the one who revolutionized the handheld market right now. We have the Legion Go, we have the Asus ROG and the Steam Deck because of the success on the Nintendo Switch. Nintendo was the first one to do it. I don't think they have a competitor, even though they're pretty good device, and I'm saying that don't buy it, go for the Steam Deck. When it comes to the battery, there is no competitor on the market, because this battery here is literally like almost 4 hours of battery, depending on your games, depending how, you know, like every console, how much those games require for the power of the Nintendo Switch and the processor and stuff like this. But then the power that you get, the battery that you get from this thing is 10 times better than the power that you get, the battery that you get from the Steam Deck, for example. The Legion Go, it's even worse. You can't even compare it with the Legion Go. It literally destroys it, so we're not going to talk about it. But when it comes to portability, I would choose a Nintendo Switch. But I still prefer the Steam Deck for what I can do with it. I get a computer, I get the PC games, and I can emulate my Nintendo games. It's a little bit pain because you have to have the cartridge, you know, to be able to play it. And then if you don't have the cartridge, for example, if you're like me, who you buy online the games, everything, then there's nothing you can do. You have to rebuy the game with cartridge. But most of the games that you're playing on Nintendo Switch are already available on the PC, so you can download them from the Steam market. For example, Dragon Ball FighterZ, I got it on the Steam Deck, and I got it on the Nintendo Switch, and looks 10 times better on the Steam Deck or the even Legion Go. Now I understand that Legion Go has a different price range and it runs Windows. This one has a different price range, but then if I want to go for the portable gaming, I don't want to buy one now and it will be, you know, useless in 6 months time, because again, it's a 7-year-old console, and of course it's going to be useless in 7-year-old time. The problem is, at the moment, we're waiting for the Nintendo Switch 2, and I will advise you guys not do what I did. Don't buy it. Either wait for the Switch 2 if you're a big fan of it, or just buy something like Lenovo Legion Go. You can play your Nintendo Switch on it, you can play your PC games on it, you can even emulate other consoles. You can play PS3 games, PS2 games, PS1 games, other consoles, Nintendo consoles, N64, Super Nintendo, everything. So you can do more things with those ones. I understand it costs more, but you can do more things with those ones. So as much as I love the form factor, I love how slim it is, I really love this console how it is at the moment. It's really hard for me to recommend unless you're a Nintendo game fan. You like Mario? That's fine. You like Pokemon? That's fine. But even there's a problem, because Pokemon, for example, has literally is known for the biggest bugs I have ever seen, the biggest lags and everything. Legend of Zelda, I heard that is pretty nice. I didn't buy them, so I'm only going from what I heard on YouTube and what I see on videos. Batman, Arkham City, it's available on this one. That game is legendary. I love that game. But you still have small problem with this one. You know, in the beginning was rough, but now it's with the updates and everything, I heard it's better, and I didn't have personally any problems with it. So you can still play games on this one, but then think about it like this: if you're paying £100 for this one right now, right? Maybe 50, you find a good deal on eBay, or maybe you buy like me on an auction, and that's it. You get a really good deal. Will this one will still work 6 months time from now? Because it's a hit and miss. We don't know when is the last time when this will receive games, and then what game will receive. I mean, I have a game here, for example, which is called Jump Rope Challenge. Probably these games, they will be the only one that you'll be able to play in the near future. So here is my biggest problem. You want to buy the Nintendo Switch, either wait for the Switch 2, which is coming out next year, or buy it for the old games that are available. Don't buy it with the idea that you will play new games on it, because you won't. And if you will, your experience is going to be... So yeah, that's my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.